Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Board of Health. Today is July 8th, 6 p.m. Today is our regular meeting of the Board of Health. Um, we will start with a roll call. Dr. Christian Roman Ramirez, Chairman.
Charles Paul Spring, Vice Chair.
And Todd Arsenal, clerk.
For additions and deletions, we won't be having any septic systems, so we're gonna go over to 1.4, 129 Lunenburg Road Restoration Orchid.
I'm not open the meeting yet officially.
Yes, we did.
We did. Okay.
1.4, 129 Lunenburg Road Restoration Orchid, discussion regarding zoning use permit.
We have two packages to right here. You have lawyers that Rick had just given me from the building commissioner. You also have his notes attached next to that. So Rick.
So are you folks from the Restoration Orchard?
No,
Well, not from
No,
now.
neighbor.
We have concerns with the restoration
Mhm.
watch.
So, did everybody get a chance to read through kind of their proposal?
Yeah, yes, I did through email.
So we, as of right now, like the letter I just gave you, they've gotten approval for phase 1 and 2, which is basically pick your own apples and a farm stand that they have where they're selling the apples, and I believe they've got a permit to sell cider out of a cooler there, and a couple of other things. And they want to move on to phase 3, and really the biggest part of phase 3 is the request to have occasional functions at the property. And so I had sent an email to them, and they had provided some answers to the questions, and I was hoping they would have a representative on so that you could ask questions to them. So is anybody here representing Restoration Orchards? Because my concern, as the Board of Health is that, how often are these functions gonna be, and what exactly do they plan to do? Because there's one-off functions where obviously portable toilets and temporary facilities make sense. And at what point do you cross that line to needing more permanent facilities to accommodate these functions? And so I think, purposefully, they answered that they wouldn't have any more than 60 events during a particular year. And the 60 number for us, at least 60, yeah, at least for us, comes from public water supply requirements. So it's as soon as you start having more than this 60 or 25 people on a property for 60 days out of the year, and you have, either ice, water, bathrooms available, you become a public water supply and you have to meet those requirements. It's through Mass DEP. It's pretty extensive. There's ongoing monitoring and testing that's got to be done. It's a fairly costly, endeavor as far as getting approval for that. And so really what they're trying to do, at least what I got from their responses, was that they wanted to have portable toilets, so temporary toilet facilities. And then as far as the events go, they would be catered, and it would be the responsibility of the person that was having the event to hire that caterer. And so, they wouldn't be having any food prep done on the property. They wouldn't be providing them with water to do anything related to the food. It'd basically be a caterer comes and sets up, and they've got everything prepared to be able to, serve whatever number of guests that they have there. And so, this is kind of the first time that anybody's presented this kind of an idea in Townsend. And so I thought it would be best to have you guys kind of look it over and consider it and see what you felt comfortable with, or what we had to go back to them with, for them to address, to be able to do what they would like to do.
My question to you, Rick, is what are your thoughts as a sanitarian of the board about this project? What are your input regarding, before we can open the discussion for the people that are here and virtual?
I mean, that's really it is, at what point do you become, less of a one-off type of an event place and become more of a destination for events. And then, my thought process is if you approve them for what they're proposing, then you've essentially approved it for anybody that comes in after them. And so, if you're satisfied with what they're approving and that's gonna satisfy, whatever you might be looking for in the future, then it's really your decision to make, because there are no black and white regulations regarding this. It's really what is the comfort level of the Board of Health. What do you consider what they're doing, and again, at what point do you think that what they are proposing requires more permanent facilities?
Okay. Any questions from my board members before we open the floor?
So they propose 60 events per year?
So I think it was in that email that had some questions and responses from them. Let me just grab the date of it.
I'm looking at that right now, Rick, and it says the season is up to August 1st through the day before Thanksgiving.
I thought they had put 60 in there, so yeah, let me
That's a lot.
pull it up.
That's
Five times.
right,
Exactly.
that's if you divide that is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
When can we speak, or should we just be?
One moment, let my members ask the questions first, and then we're gonna open the floor to the people.
Something about that.
All right, so it was this document that starts off Restoration Orchard Board of Health responses, Townsend, Mass, and it's addressed to the Board of Health. So the first question was, this would include the maximum number of events they plan to hold, and they said the maximum number of events per year would be 60. What would be the maximum number of individuals that would be allowed at each event? And they said, we intend to limit events to 250 attendees. How do they plan to handle food and beverages? They answered food and beverages by independent catering companies and or food trucks. What is the proposal to handle wastewater and water needs? And they said, we intend to provide high quality restroom trailers based on the size of each event at a ratio provided by the Board of Health. And so that, there are some guidance documents. There's no regulation that says if you're having an event with X number of people, you are required to have X number of portable toilet units. But there are some ratios out there to work with as far as the number of portable toilets you would need based on a particular size of a group. And then I had asked, the original paperwork submitted with the use permit application noted things like cider slushies, apple cider donuts to be made on site. Is this still a part of their plan for phase 3? And they answered, there is no current plan to make cider slushies or apple cider donuts on site. So it's basically, they're gonna have their pick your own. They'll have the farm stand, which is currently permitted for the cider, and it's called a limited retail license. And then their proposal to have these up to 60 events per year is what they'd like to do.
But they're only gonna be open for 4 months. August through November. So August, September, October, November.
And I don't know, is that in the original,
It's in the original, yes,
the one dated August 26th,
Yes.
2023?
Yes,
So
it is.
some things definitely changed from this document, and so I can't say whether those proposed, that range of dates is what they're still proposing to do. And again, this is the first time that the board's talking about it, so this could be a discussion that lasts a number of meetings, and we have a back and forth. That's why I was hoping somebody would be on so that you could ask questions to them directly, and they could answer. But if we need to, we can write down questions, we can pose them to their attorney, and then, wait for a response.
Is there someone from Orchard, Restoration Orchard online that can address to the Board of Health? Anyone? I assume there's nobody, so we open the floor for questions from the people's comments or concerns.
If I could speak, so that it's not clear, you're talking about a 4-month period in one document, but you're saying that might not be clear.
Yeah,
So
so
if nothing else, perhaps the board could table it for another time until there's clarity from the orchard.
Sure.
As neighbors, we already have low output wells that one day you can take a shower and the next day you're heading to your cousin's house. We're concerned they might not be putting in water now. They are clearly headed to a larger venue. Now they said so we're worried about the water supply already. Our well's been cracked 3 times. Next time we're digging a new well, and it's just a bad spot. The whole hill is clay, and we're not the only low output well there. There's a lot of them on the hill. So that's a concern that they will eventually want water. Something the Board of Health should address is half the town without water is not a good thing. The other concerns that we have, so is it parking for 250 people?
So that wouldn't fall under the Board of Health, that would fall under the building inspector at FEMA.
Something to keep in mind for the Board of Health as they're asking for this facility. They might have just said 250 people, but if you look, it says parking for 250. 250, 2 people to a car, even if it's just that, is 500 people, which definitely ups the Board of Health's impact, because that's a lot of people, that's a lot of water.
Is there a sign out that says parking for 200?
So it's on that
It's
original
in the
document,
document.
it's August 25th, 2023.
And maybe if nothing else, they just need to revamp the documents so it's clear and updated before they present to the Board of Health.
Okay. And it says they were limited to 250.
I'm so sorry, Todd, I'm very hearing impaired. Can you yell at me, please?
I just read that it would limit it to 250.
Okay.
Any other comments? Sir, you had,
You want to them?
I was gonna speak to that, but we have a large swimming pool. And when they first started with the apple trees, our well was going dry all the time. Because they put in a water system for the trees, which is fortunate. Now I guess they have 1,000-foot well, so hopefully that'll doesn't help us with the fumes from their spraying constantly, starting back when it was freezing out. I don't understand that, but I guess you gotta get into that early. But so there's a problem with the spray. It smells, it isn't good. They don't tell us when they're gonna spray, or in the summertime, it'd be nice to close our windows if we opened them. It's warm today, but and then the road that orchard is on is no country road. So both driveways are in and out, no matter which way you go. They're blind driveways. So the road is bad as it is. So I know everything doesn't fall on your shoulders, but everybody should be aware of that there could be serious accidents there. And especially, they were telling me that they were gonna have weddings and things. So weddings, people like to drink beer and tea and coffee and everything else, so you will have issues. So, and what the Board of Health can do about closing that down before midnight, having some sensible rules, it's important to us. So I was here just to learn, but I can see that nothing much has changed. Not from the last paper that I got. They have permission to buy 150 cars, and
I'm just wondering about the parking, it's all gonna be on grass. And I'm just wondering, like, conservation, isn't that bad? What about that has a leak, oil leak, a gas leak, that's gonna go into the ground? My neighbor takes his clothes off the line because when they spray morning, noon, or night, or both, I run into the house because that spray comes right up to our yard, my house, or our house, I should say, comes right up to our house. Oh, can't even use our yard.
What they're
like
spraying,
that,
Rick, do you have any idea? what
It's probably pesticides or maybe herbicides that just, so you know, if you have any complaints about that, you really should be calling the state pesticide board.
We did call the state pesticide board.
Yeah,
There's nothing we can do because it's agricultural. More than half of my rabbits are gone. The yard was always loaded with rabbits. They're gone. The beehive out back, they're all dead.
Oh, yeah.
There's not a damn thing we can do about it because it's agricultural and we understand that, but we are asking that the Board of Health, please pay very close attention to what you can. Because our wells are there, that's our drinking water. We don't want town water. That's our drinking water. There's, 100 and 200 cars coming out onto 119 is, I think, beyond what you guys can get involved in, but that's sure as hell not a good idea.
Well, just the road alone, adding the possibility of 250 cars. I mean, if you're having up to 60 events in a 4-month period, that means you're gonna have at least 2 a day, so you're gonna have 4 different periods of time that 119, Route 13 are gonna have that much more traffic. Lunenburg Road is gonna have that much more traffic. It's already a bad road. People fly up and down that hill. It's a
Anyone
race.
is welcome to sit in the driveway at 128R and see what goes on, filter the areas. But it's just,
It's crazy.
if the board, clearly they're going to try to make it a larger business. It's a beautiful view out back, I get
We
it.
tried to buy all the properties around, but we don't wanna sell yet.
Yeah, but
Do we know how many acres it is?
look at what they can do to protect our wells.
Do we know how many acres?
Where I was reading,
You know how many acres it is?
I think it says right on that.
read that a few minutes ago, that not sure, it's.
And the parking in the street, that's all under the planning board for site plan review, correct?
Yeah, so it wouldn't fall
Doesn't fall under
us,
Board of
yeah.
Health.
And I'm not sure, you'd have to talk to Bob Garside, or Beth to figure out, what the requirements are. Because they're like,
I'm sorry, you said that's planning board?
So with Bob Garside's the zoning enforcement officer, he's a building commissioner, and then.
I'd like to know what the police department and the fire department have to think about that many cars.
Sure, yeah, so-
Except the fire chief is killed.
Unfortunately, you're outside of the scope of the Board of Health. And so it's really, Bob Garside would probably be the best person to start with and figure out where, whether or not they, for this part of phase 3, whether or not they have to file with the DEA for any reasons or whether the act is, just because it's agricultural, like you said, they do have a lot of exemptions.
Yeah.
And it includes certain things that might be subsidiary to the agricultural use.
There's only a market of 5 acres, but there's.
I have, one
That's.
pet peeve that's been getting worse. Since they started and put the fences up and started putting poison all around for the mice. They put it under one, they take a shingle and cut it in 3 pieces and dump some stuff on the ground, put the shingle on it. Then the wind blows it away. But we used to have lots of hawks and a pet eagle that would come pick up roadkill that I would bring in and put for them. And I haven't seen him in a couple of years. But so all the hawks and things are, the birds, sit there.
We're gonna ask something, Carla?
Basically, we'd just like to ask the Board of Health, please keep an eye out for our wells. And, clearly, they've not gotten their act together, putting this together. Ask them to come back when they've got the whole process.
What
laid out.
type of well do you have? Is it
It's an artesian well.
artesian?
Yeah, it's 1,500 feet.
Okay, so they,
It's already been fracked a couple of times.
all right. So when you said there was a lot of clay, I was wondering, because they have a pounded well.
No,
You get
these
mostly
are artesian
surface
wells.
water, which would be gas.
Yeah, we try to be very careful with it, but as Skilling said, next time we gotta drill another one and we don't have good spots.
Okay.
Just the way it is up there.
No, we haven't, no.
Anyone from Zoom wish to comment on this matter on restoration, OK 129 Lunenburg Road? Anybody?
Oh, they have a hand up.
Yes?
Hi, I'm Emily Rue. I live at 130 Lunenburg Road. I'm directly across from the orchard. So most of my neighbors have touched upon the myriad issues that are definitely outside the purview of Board of Health. But mainly it's the water. None of us have been informed where the orchard is drawing their water, what aquifer. I have a well too. It's dried up before. It's probably an old bathtub with a pipe through it for all I know. But, it's just, and I have kids at home. So that's a concern for me that my kids can have access to clean water, shower, that I'm not having to go to my parents 45 minutes away if something were to happen. So none of this, information has been disclosed to us on the water. It sounds like we've all experienced wells drying up at some point. So for the board to just really be cognizant that, this does impact us, if they're, using the water, and, for homes with kids, just please be mindful of that. We're, very, cordial with them. It's, the right to farm. We get it, but this is crossing a line in terms of its impact in the residential component to the street.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Anybody else online that wish to voice their opinion? I propose this board to hold a public hearing on our next meeting and have the people of Restoration Orchid to be on this meeting. Because I think that I think I have questions, and I think you all, my board members, have questions too, and they're the ones who needs to be here, and they're not here. So I publicly, before, can we get a motion to have a public
I have one more question. Are they on artesian well now? Do we know?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, and it's 6.9 acres. I looked it up.
6.9?
Yeah.
There's two artesian wells, one for the house. And since then they drilled 1,000 foot one, not far away from there.
So it's a new one, newer one.
Yeah, Skillings had drilled it 5-7 years ago, somewhere in between there, I think.
Can I get a motion to our next meeting to have a public hearing requesting all the people involved on Restoration Orchid to be here, the whoever, the attorneys, the people who can answer.
Want to have the building commissioner here as well?
Yes. Have a public hearing regarding this matter so that we can
Get more answers.
answers and to decide what will be the limits that we're gonna place, or if we're gonna approve or not. Just to have a broader decision regarding in what way we can protect the people regarding this, and at the same time, not affecting this project, but I mean, but what we have, I don't think we have enough to.
There's no decision tonight, for sure.
So can I get a motion for a public hearing for next week?
Propose a motion for a public hearing next week to have both Restoration Orchard here or a representative along with the public and an attorney if possible, maybe to find the building, would you say building commissioner?
Building commissioner.
Yeah, so I propose. Anyone seconding or?
And it'd be the next meeting, so 7/22.
7/22, okay.
Who's seconded?
Well,
I can't be here on the 22nd, but I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
I'm
Aye.
gonna be here on the 22nd either.
Christian,
I'll have to do online.
Carla, does Adam have office hours before the 22nd? Regardless, I guess if we could get on just to talk to him about potential agricultural exemptions for them when it comes to Board of Health related issues.
Okay.
So we can find out kind of what our limitations are as far as what we can ask from them.
Does this project open them up for a can of worms once they go from agricultural to having weddings on the property?
Well, yeah, and
Changes
so
the zoning.
the attorney wrote a letter and he claims that weddings have been considered by law an accessory use to orchards and similar agricultural practices.
Okay.
And so I guess, we probably need to talk to our attorney to see what his thoughts are on that as well.
Okay, all right.
We, the town council hours for July will be on the 29th this month. So it will be the week after.
So, yeah, at least, hopefully we can have a discussion with them on the 22nd. And then you had
We
said
can
before.
present to our town council with what we received.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
And there's a public welcome at this meeting?
Yes, the
Yes.
public hearing.
Public.
Okay. Oh, I meant the meeting on the 29th.
No,
No, that is, yeah.
Secrets.
well, it's with council, so.
Do we have a second?
For moving in for
No,
the,
you did. You know,
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I missed that.
is that the other 22nd?
yes.
Okay. We're gonna thank you and we're gonna continue this matter in our public hearing then, okay? So that we can get a more informed, and I think it'll be just because, I mean, for me, this is new in Townsend and for everybody, and we wanna, and that's why we want the people's input, and having the people involved here, they should answer all these concerns, and I mean, and the Board of Health is here to protect the people's rights and their health. Okay? Anything else? We go to 1.5 hauler permits renewal.
We are up to date. The last hauler permit was, sent out, this morning with a promise that the late fee would be paid. So all hauler permits are up to date.
Okay. Very well. 1.6 residential trash discussion. So we presented on our last joint meeting to the select board the 2-month extension. Because we didn't had on the document, what is it that called, Carla,
The 2 month, but where the residential trash discussion is about the houses that.
Oh, I'm sorry, go back, yep,
63 Mason, 2 Pine and 86 South Row, I
Yeah.
think they are.
yeah, go ahead.
So, the owner of 2 Pine Street, did stop by my office. And we had a conversation. I did also drive by the property. There is a refrigerator left, there with the door off, so it is in compliance with the reg. If you put a fridge out, you gotta remove the door from it. And she plans to bring that to the recycling center, I believe the next time you're open towards the end of the month. And so that property is, the rest has been cleaned up. It's just that remaining item. So I expect that to be done. 63 Mason Road, as you know, we were able to serve the owner. He did give me a call and, essentially said that he would be taking care of that trash on the property. And, if he hit a snag and needed, some sort of an extension or whatever it might be, that he would contact the board and make arrangements to come in front of you prior to, that 20 days being up. 80, or I think the other one's, 86 South.
Yes.
So I have not heard anything. The order was returned, on June 18th. And so we are pretty much coming up to the end of that period to get things resolved. I did drive by that property the end of last week. Nothing's been done out there. And so, you'll have to talk and see if you want to try to, pursue that in housing courts, which would mean asking for permission to use town council.
So for this property, we already exhausted all the,
We sent out a letter requesting that they resolve the issue. We sent out an order, ordering them to resolve the issue. We could send one more follow-up letter, essentially saying that, we are gonna approach town council and figure out our legal options.
And that was a certified mail,
Of the
right?
certified
So
mail,
those
yeah.
came back that it was undeliverable.
Yeah.
Town taxes current
I
periodically.
don't know.
Okay.
I don't usually check that with orders, but if you want, I can take a look.
Curious if it's abandoned, and that's why we can't contact when somebody passed.
So when we send out orders, we send them out first class mail and certified mail. So if they don't sign the certified mail, which happens pretty often, the first class mail will get delivered, and if it doesn't, then that will get returned too, and we'll know there's an issue there.
Okay,
So the first class mail did not come back. It was
all
delivered.
right, so it was interesting. Okay.
So how should we proceed, board members? Should we have a motion to seek legal counsel on how should we proceed, or should we proceed having a follow-up letter for recommendation for Rick?
I say we call a lawyer.
I think we can do both.
Okay, Alright.
And I know Adam's been willing to send something on his letterhead, which is sometimes a little bit more effective. So, we could, send something out. We could get his thoughts on it on the 29th, but ultimately, you need to send a request to the Board of Selectmen to,
How do you want us to proceed?
I think both.
I think with the lawyer, I think both would be good, but yes, definitely a lawyer.
Okay, so can I get a motion to then seek out legal counsel and many follow-ups?
I propose we seek legal counsel and utilize what other resources we
Okay,
have.
I'll second it. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, Rick, I don't think you're needed here for anything else unless you wanna stay for curbside trash.
I'll go have some dinner.
Okay.
All right, have a good day.
Thank you.
Sounds like the house doesn't open up till tomorrow.
Okay,
Sorry, but
thank
that
you.
was dynamite. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, so 1.7 curbside trash and recycling. Now if we can give an update on what happened on that meeting, I was saying that the select board, because we were missing, I forgot the name of the document, Carla.
Prevailing wage.
The prevailing wage. They were hesitant on signing that 2-month extension. And correct me if I'm wrong, they wanted to have all the documentation to be on that 2-month extension.
Yeah.
The concern with this is that they're picking the trash. However, if something happens, like any injury or anything like that, where's the liability go?
Good question.
Till it's signed, you mean?
Until it's signed, correct?
Working with other contracts.
Well, I think Shaw is insured to protect the company and himself to take care of. But what you're referring to, one of our citizens in Townsend gets hurt. Is that what you're referring to, or one of his workers?
When somebody in town gets hurt. I did get an email from Nelson from the state that acknowledged that they are way behind on the prevailing wage requests and that something should be coming shortly. So,
Okay.
it is my hopes that it would be here by, what is the next meeting on the 15th?
The 15th is the joint meeting with the
The joint
select
meeting,
board.
so, it would be my hope that it would be here. I mean, that's a ways away.
Yeah.
And if it's not, I would respectfully ask that the selectmen make a motion to sign the contract and keep it until the prevailing wage comes. So at least you can start the document process, because from there it has to go to legal and it has to go to the accounting.
It's gonna take us a month to sign the 2-month extension.
Mhm.
So is it a 3-month extension or?
No, it's all.
That is 2-month.
What extension?
And what else did the select board, they were asking questions about the language of how we were subscribing people to the program, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
They were asking specifically wanting us to what they wanna see the form that they're using online. And select board member Cal was asking about if the people are aware that if the program doesn't work, that what will be the options, correct?
Exactly. They're gonna give them that purple sticker. And they're good for a year, you tell them, but what if it doesn't?
So they were kind of wanting to see the form how we are, getting the people enrolled into the program.
Do we have anything formalizing them when they enroll, or are they just putting their name down on a list?
They're signing up through the QR code, and that is online. I haven't gone online and seen, the actual people, but I do get an email every day, and at this point, I think there's 32 people that have signed up online. There has been 54 people that have come into the office that have signed up,
Okay.
via cash or check.
Okay.
So when the people sign up in person, they get a number. So they know that they have to come back to get the sticker because the stickers all have numbers for each person. And then we're also asking where is the sticker going to be placed, which is a lot of questions that I get through the emails and voicemails. And the reason why we're asking that is because the haulers need to be, they need to know when they're driving, they're gonna be looking at the trash and recycling bins, and they're gonna be looking for that yellow sticker. And there are people, right now I have 3 people that want to put it on their mailboxes. So it would be really helpful,
Yellow or purple?
yellow,
Yeah, we don't want to mix it up with the bags, you know?
it's easier to see.
And the stickers in Lunenburg are gonna be purple and they use yellow bags.
I wouldn't miss something they were purple. But anyways, how big are these stickers?
8 by 10.
You can't miss it. There's an 8x10 right there.
Well, that's 8.5 by 11, so
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not playing
it
it.
would be like that big.
Right, so what the board I was looking for, the board selecting looking for is, you know, once you hand them that sticker, what do they get for it?
They get trash and recycling picked up.
Ooh,
Why didn't you prove it?
ooh, you just gonna take your word for it?
Alright, so
That's what she wanted.
I
I get what you're saying, but that's just.
So everybody's going out with a negative, and if we continue this negativity around it, it's guaranteed to fail.
Everyone
to make
is
it
more than
positive.
positive. They have a lot of questions, a
All the few people are.
lot of questions, lot of criticism on the flyer. But once I explain to the people,
Okay,
every single one has signed up. No one has said no, thank you. They've
Okay.
all signed up.
okay,
So, if people really wanna get into the demographics, I'll show them the slides from the town meeting, because none of these people that signed up were at the town meeting.
okay,
So it's gonna take, some time to, get the word out, which is really great that you have 2 months
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
people to sign up. I think you're gonna have more, the flyers hit the mailboxes on Monday.
I received mine.
Right.
you've already got yours.
So, yes, but some people haven't, because a woman came in today and said that she hadn't received it, so. But once the people understand what the program is and how long-term the Board of Health hopes to get rid of the purple pay-as-you-throw bags and have the 64 gallons of trash free like it was before, and the unlimited recycling, and then if you go over your 64 gallons, then you can buy an overflow bag, which is only one size large, and it's $3. They're fine with that.
Okay,
They really are.
that's the goal, but right now we
And they
need
know
both
that,
sources.
they know right now that they
revenue.
still have to use the bags.
Okay,
And right now, we haven't received any responses from Waste Zero either.
No, the legal team is on vacation, so they should be back. They think were they supposed to be back this
2
week?
weeks.
Is it this week or
I think
next
it could
week?
be sometime this week or
Okay.
next week, something like that.
I think if it's not this week, it's definitely by Monday, they'll be back. So, and that's, we really need to get that contract going as well.
You know, we're gonna make it work if we have.
The contract, the draft contract right now with Waste Zero is for 3 years.
I need bags now, do we get enough bags to do what,
We have enough bags right now, yes, we have 100 cases.
100 cases?
Yeah, of the large, and I believe that there was 80 something left of
the small
the
one.
small
80 boxes,
cases,
cases, okay.
Right.
Well,
so.
okay,
So we're good and all.
I know that the select board is concerned, I mean, at least one of the members specifically had voiced their concerns about what if the program doesn't work, and we voiced to the select board that we will be analyzing month by month to see what proper actions we as a board will take in order for the trash won't be interrupted or come up with some sort of a plan that we will communicate to the
But
people.
that doesn't answer the question. I understand what you're saying, and I get it, you're gonna monitor it, but it doesn't answer the question, the what if. And I know it's hard to say.
For me, it's premature to say what if, because we're just starting the program. The program is in diapers, it's not even
Okay,
rolling.
but you gotta think about what if we got 80, maybe 100 people signed up right now? What if that's it?
Then we give them back their money and
Can you give them back the
we
money?
lose trash pickup in
I
town.
think we would end up giving them back the money.
Can we?
I would have to ask that.
I think we need to ask that, because that's what they wanna know upstairs. Because if you get 1,500 people, you need the 18, but if you get 1,500, and you got the $125 in the bank. Plus you got people with under 60 out of stabilization taxpayers' money, and it fails. They're gonna
You're gonna drive around with your pickup truck, we'd be picking up trash.
So that's what they wanna know, so
Right.
you're gonna have to say, we'll give you a refund. And then you gotta put it on a table up there. Give people, we'll give you your money back.
If it fails within the first 6 months, we give you back the money.
And you would give them back
Later on.
You would give them back 6 months because you would have the 6 months of service that they
Yeah.
would be doing.
So
So there's your
It's-
interest, can we
it
guarantee,
seems
can we
that-
guarantee 6 months of service? What can we guarantee right now?
Well, you can't until
We
September
can't.
1st because you're
Mhm.
waiting for people to sign up.
Right,
I mean, I still have,
so let's go to best case, so we have 1,800 people sign up tomorrow. Where are you at?
$. How far does that get us in the
so
system?
that would get you the whole year.
The whole
I mean,
year.
you'd be fine.
Okay.
You'd be fine.
Good answer. So would it be safe to say if we only got 900 people, we're good for 6 months?
That would make sense.
But it depends because you don't know what the tonnage is gonna be. You don't know how
Right.
much the recycling is gonna be. You don't know what the trash is gonna be.
Okay,
So there's a lot of what ifs there.
no, but can we put it on the table? If we get 900 sign up, we're good for 4 months.
Again, it depends upon the
But it
tonnage.
does, but we gotta tell them that, if we go 4 months, and we get a
We
900
gotta
people
pick
sign
some
up.
numbers, draw some lines in the sand, put it on paper.
Then at least they're gonna be, okay, you guys
And
gotta.
then if it fails, I personally will resign. How's that?
No, that's not something.
I'll be the first one out here.
I think we need to put something like that on the table.
All right.
Okay.
But what happens, what you're proposing is that what happens if on the 6 months the program doesn't meet at least its 50% goals, you're proposing that the plan could be, for example, refunding the people's money from the other 6 months, half that
If it fails in the first 6
6
months,
months.
the system is failing, we're in the hole, where it's not working, then I think we propose to find a way to refund their money. If it's within the first 6 months, but after that, they're out as well, the $60.
At least if you tell people they're gonna refund their money if it doesn't work, we might have more people sign up. I got people going, I'm not giving you $125, because what if this thing doesn't work?
Right. Let
If they know they need
I
the
have
money.
to make some calls. I can't answer that question.
Right, yeah,
You gotta feel,
and we'll have a year to give that money back, we'll have to just do a lot of recycling.
So I think that, I mean, at least we have something then in concrete. I'm not recommending to vote on it today because the program is just starting, but at least we have some idea that we as a board can present to the select board and we can evaluate, meditate on that process while we evaluate those for 6 months.
and then we tell them that, we'd still try to get some curbside recycling, we'll sit back down at the table and maybe implement some other options or ideas. But it might have to be for, self-contracting for a few months until things get figured out, if this does happen to fall away.
Yeah.
Maybe,
I think it's a good idea. Thank you very much, Mr. Arsenal. Thank you. I think that's I think that's, good analogy about the.
I understand your monitoring, I understand it, yes, we need to definitely do that. Yeah. But there's gotta be that point where it's either break or not break.
Thank you. We have 1.8 recycling attendant job application review, Sam Lunstead, excuse me. I'm sorry, sir, for misspelling your last name. So Carla, can you tell us about,
Yes, Sam lives in Mason, New Hampshire. He has worked with Sean Pearson, who works for the Highway Department for Mason. And he's a really, really nice, bright young man who's 19 going on 20. He wants to get his hoister license. He's fantastic with math, which will be really good for the receipts. He wants to learn. He's sturdy, he's well-spoken, and he's eager to work. So when he came down for his interview a couple of weeks ago, he actually stayed. The interview was at 11 and we went to about 11:45, and he stayed till 2 and watched what the employees were doing to make sure that he was really sure that he could do it. So that really impressed me.
Yeah, we heard this.
So if it pleases the board, you could make a recommendation to the selectmen that you would like them to hire Sam, pending a query check and a physical.
can I get a motion?
I present a motion to recommend Sam Lunstead for the job at the recycling attendant. Recycling attendant number 2 job.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. There you go. Okay. And
So, next on the agenda is the FY 26 pay increases. So, per the union contract, for myself, there was a 4% increase. And we went with the same for the recycling center employees. So it was a 4%. So you have here before you, the increases, they're right here. As the department head, I had already submitted them, but I wanted you to see them. And then as part of this, Christian had some questions about Paul Walter and his tenure there, but as I am a relative to him, I will have to step out of the room for that conversation. So you do have the pay rates right here. So I think you have those in your package that shows exactly when the date of hire was for each person, what they're making now and what they will make next year. And you also have Paul Walter's review as well.
I think review is,
It should be in there, right there. Okay, so I'm gonna step out, and if someone could take some notes while I'm out, that would be fantastic. And just let me know when I can come back in.
Okay.
Thank you.
So
we have under our consideration, before we go to the other numbers, I got an email that was forwarded to me from Sean Pearson. Regarding Mr. Paul Walters. I'm gonna read it as how I receive it. It says, I had a confidential conversation with someone from the town today who remained nameless. I'm concerned about Paul Walters' pay rate from what I've been led to believe that his step rate only goes back to 2011. I know he started that job when he was very young and he left the job 2 years and was called back by Cradler. That was my understanding. This deeply concerns me because then I believe that Paul has been improperly paid and he should be at a higher pay rate. Paul is a hard, dedicated worker and Paul knows he's in and out of the recycling center better than anyone. I believe he should be set to a higher set. We are a non-union department and I don't feel it should be a problem. I understand that I make more money because I have I have the hydraulic license. I'm also Paul's foreman, but I believe the town owes him at least setting his step higher. So I requested to have him bring his evaluation too. And to consider from the minimum wage, we're talking about the minimum wage, which was 11 some, I don't remember right now, from 2011. But based on his foreman's recommendation and the feedback that I obtained, and based on his evaluation, um, I wanted to know your thoughts if we could equip his rate to his current, for the current minimum wage for the step that he will require.
How many hours a week or a month do they actually get? What are we really talking about? They're only open 2 days a month. And what's it, an 8 hour day? It's 16 hours. You know, give the guy $20 an hour. Come on. Or whatever the next step is.
Dad, the thing is
And you're
that
talking minimum wage, it's 15.29 now, isn't it, minimum?
so 15 some, yes, is to wage it to the minimum rate, because he's below the federal,
What a step, okay.
the Fed, he's low, he's way low on the federal,
What
wage.
step number is he?
He's a number, this is 10, Dave 10. Well,
He's a number 10.
so that's what somebody wrote in there.
All right. And then you got
Oops,
pay
he's
grade
he's
A,
a-
B, C, D, E, F. So then it goes down.
Well, how do you grade steps?
And that's
Based on I assume that it's on the performance evaluation, and this one is from, the one that he has here was from 1/24, from January 24 to January 25.
Yeah.
And he's scheduled for another evaluation on 1/1/26.
Yeah. Based on 2% step increase, quote increase. All right, so we almost need Carl to explain this grading here. Because it's a big difference from A to F on step 10.
And he's been here a while, sounds like?
Yeah.
He's been here, he goes back from 2011, and then he left and he came back.
How long's he been back?
Yeah, hold on. Any idea? Didn't really say on this review, did it?
Not his annual, no.
What's the new kid making?
I think he's making below, but I don't have the number on the below,
So can we just vote to bring him up to the rate everyone?
to the minimum rate at least, I mean, because I know for the fact that he's making below the minimum wage rate.
The new kid's making 17.97.
Okay.
Maybe it should be that better. Hourly qualified after listed above at an hourly wage of 17.97 to increase upon said 61 provision of 18.33. So like new kids make this.
Okay.
And this guy's been here?
Apparently, we don't have how many years, but
Yeah, he's gotta have a little more seniority than the new kid is. Out models, right?
yeah. Oh, so this is Pearson. Well, these are what people are making. I see what you're saying.
So they consider
Yeah,
it,
so here he is, 25, this is Paul. That's
right.
So,
So they're considering this new kid a step over step 15, step 14.
yeah. Even I was. Then Paul. Ouch.
He's on an A10,
Been hired, is that?
that's the foreman. Sean Pearson.
Okay. And then, Carla. So. grade D, step 10, I see now. Grade and step, I see, okay.
And his foreman is advocating for an adequate step on.
Well, clock at 16 hours a week, I mean, a month, with it. This can't be the full-time job, is it? Or
This is just on the recycling center.
it's just a recycle. Well, maybe we should be open more. We tend to have record
Well,
days.
she should be making what this gets paid,
Absolutely.
you would think.
Yeah. What's the foreman's 19 and then is it, oh, it's a call the foreman. Yeah. And then 2011. Oh, this is the new kid here, but the new kid's hired last year. Let's see. 33, he's at.
No, this is a brand new kid we just got to put on. We just hired this.
Oh, I haven't seen his paperwork.
Yeah, this one kid.
That's the one that
We got him at 17.
97.
And after his probation period, that's
6
where he
months.
was. Yes, 6
Right.
months. So you're right. I agree. You need there's two people here. Tyler, who's only been here a year, and then you've got the new, and Paul Walters. And
He's been here from July 7th, 2011. This
Yeah,
year.
he's been around.
Yes.
He left for a little while, we came
So
back.
we're probably talking $16 to $32 a month. Increase.
I'm not arguing, I'm just, you're gonna be making at least what the new kid think.
Yeah.
If,
Absolutely.
So what do we recommend then as a board? I don't have any issues
Give
on,
him a $2 an hour pay raise.
Let's vote on, I don't have any issues on the pay rates form.
Yeah.
As it is. And I think that, he should be updated to,
The next.
to. And then,
he's gotta go to the 14 or 14 to 15.
So. 810.
I just don't know what the steps sounds.
Well, he's on A10 for this year. Next year, he's on A11, but it only goes up 70 cents, basically.
Right.
From A10 to A11,
and he's been here since 2011.
Yeah, but I'm assuming the Bs, as you get up higher in the letter, means they got better qualifications for some reason. So if he's not qualified to be a B for any reason.
Well, let's look at his evaluation because, for example, quality, it was given a 5, productivity, a 4, job knowledge, a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's okay, but like Sean, he's a D, but he has a hydraulics license. That's why he's in this bracket.
Okay.
So I'm assuming this Paul Walter doesn't have a hydraulic license. That's
No,
why
he's
he's not.
on an A.
Right, so he's gotta stay within the A because he might not qualify.
So we go from 11 to 12, maybe? Well, it's only another 30 cents, 35 cents.
We're working on 25 or 26,
Well, this is 25,
right?
and then okay, so fair enough.
You're gonna go fiscal year 26, the last one.
16,
All right, so we bump him up to, yeah, let's still,
but then it's literally 30 cents when he goes from 2025.
No, but
to
it's this
26.
one, Paul. It's this fiscal year.
Right, well,
Yeah,
yeah,
No,
okay,
you're on the,
okay, fair
should be
enough,
this
Fiscal,
one.
you're right, but so we can actually cross out first two, get it now, because July 1st.
yeah, because it was
is
given the
fiscal 12.
comparisons, the steps, where are we,
So right now, he's at grade A, step 11. That's exactly where he is.
and he's still on since his hire, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
So,
so can we actually vote on giving him a raise, but we need to have the,
I don't know.
all right,
I would suggest, the 14, step 14.
Yeah.
If it's,
we recommend a step 14 then?
I would think, Seeing as how you guys, this new guy's gonna be
We
making
can't
that.
pop down to a B, can we?
I don't know, because I don't know.
No, because
Well, let's ask, because that would put us at basically the same thing. The step 15, now step 14, well, no, step 15, and step 11, where he's at, and go from an A to a B.
Again, I don't know.
So let's ask if we can go from an A to a B, what's the qualifications?
let me ask Carla for that without.
Oh, yeah.
Without,
Okay.
It could be time, it could be tenure, I don't know. Who knows?
Well, tenure, I'm
Carla?
wondering if step one, you know,
Carla?
he's been here 11 years, why is he here 11?
Well,
So,
also, is this union?
These are non-union. Said this would be easier because they're non-union. So,
So we can take the missing years and hunt into account?
yeah, that I would like to find out if.
So I don't disagree with giving more money, but to make sure we do it right.
Dylan's making 27 an hour and he got a $1 an hour raise. He almost quit the other day.
Who's this? I'm sorry.
Dylan, my son.
Yeah, was that a?
Well, he works for excavation company in New Hampshire. He ran all the equipment, but it was like big toys. Now he's doing the surveying and all the groundwork. This is where the money is, but he just lost his. You know, I'm like, Dylan, calm down, take a couple of breaths. I said, it's a great job. You're learning and you're getting paid to learn. And that's worth a lot of money. Someday somebody's gonna hire you because of the inside.
Okay, here's Carla, she's gonna respond
Okay.
to.
So the steps are based on, when you're looking at your nice spreadsheet there, the color spreadsheet.
Yeah.
So you look at,
Our steps, years that you've been with the.
no, they're based on experience. So obviously an A1 step one person is the absolute lowest. In fact, this isn't even really a right sheet because it has them listed up below the minimum wage of $15.
Well, we're on F1.
But that's FY 24. Okay, so FY 25, they still had a couple that were under
Yeah.
15. But typically you go up one step.
That's okay, so
So-
their smartness and
That- okay.
the letters.
The letters, how do you become?
The letters
Yes,
are the level of importance. So my job, I believe, is a D.
Okay,
I believe I'm a D. The recycling employees are an A. They're a B if they have their hoister license, because that's.
and so we
yes.
can't go down, well, we can,
Can't give him a B because he probably doesn't have a.
He doesn't have a hoister's license, so he would have to stay in A. But there's questions about how many step increases were from 2011 up until now, and that's something that you would have to ask the treasurer or the personnel department to let you know.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
2011 is how many, 14 years from now?
How
14.
many years was he gone?
I believe 3.
And is it succession?
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
but he was never off the payroll. He never resigned. He just
Yeah,
didn't work.
Oh, okay, so technically it's still 14 years. Okay, I got it.
So I
It should be a
think,
step one, like you said, right? I'm all for it.
I think that if we come up with a decision on moving Mr. Walter to a step 14, we can approve all of these raises and request HR to analyze if that, since HR are the people that can be more precise, we can recommend on having them analyze and what we want, and they can let us know what, if he's adequate based on the experience and based on the time that he's been here on with the town of Townsend.
sure.
I think that, we think that could be a fair solution then.
Yes, I think it can be.
So before voting on Mr. Walters, can I get a motion to approve the pay rates for
We have to sign one of these and pass it around, or?
We'll ask Carla to come back if we have to sign it or not. But can I get a motion on, the pay rates for fiscal year 2026 for,
What did she say the rate increase was? Was there a number or no?
What was it?
It was 4%.
one is for Carla Aquila,
Okay.
Sean Pearson,
Yep.
and I get a motion for that. Oh, and Tyler LaMerch.
Yeah, we have Tyler and there you go. Okay, we're skipping Paul Walters.
Yes.
Because yes, I put a motion to approve. Carla, what? Aquila, Sean Pearson and Tyler LaMarche. Pay raise.
Okay.
I'll second that, excuse me.
Okay,
Okay.
all in favor, say aye. Aye. And can I get a motion to recommend Mr. Paul Walter, to, based on his last evaluation, to be promoted to a step 18,
14.
step 14 per,
Is it, okay, you are right.
step 14, pending, HR's review and final recommendations.
I present a motion to approve Paul Walters at the recommendation to the Board of Selectmen to raise him to
HR.
a step, to HR, to raise him to a step 14 for his 15 years' experience with our town.
I'll second that motion for the approval of HR.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Hey, you call Carla back then.
We made a motion on this kid, right?
Hmm?
We made a motion on this kid, right? He's also. What's his?
Wait a minute, was that the new
This
kid?
is the new kid.
All right, so no, we didn't talk about the new kid. We did all the pay raises, Paul. And no, we haven't done, we'll have to, we did the for Lunston. Just like this,
There's no other.
Okay,
did we do, Samuel Lumsted? The application?
that was the one that you submitted the motion for presenting to the select board.
To hire him.
Hire him. So we approved the pay rates for Carla Aquila, Sean Pearson, and Tyler LaMerch.
Okay,
And we approve this, step, for the other employee per final recommendation from HR
Was step 14.
for the step 14.
okay.
Do we have to sign or?
No. You don't? Goes right to the town administrator.
Okay, you have the original, right?
I do.
Okay. Very well. Then we have
Big minutes.
minutes.
Big minutes. I was hoping to get to the 28th of June because I do have a public records request for them, but I can't do anything other than talk to people about trash. With just the phone. For every one person I'm on the phone with, I get 5 calls that come in. So, right now I only have 11 that I haven't gotten back to today, so
Oh, we have-
on top of it.
Do we know from who?
Well, that would be Harrison. It would go to Harrison, but, I will get to it. I will get to it. So I sent her all the other ones. That one was.
Oh, you have.
You don't need to sign. I can't compete with that signature.
Only, we have only 1 minute then?
Okay, yes, yes.
Okay.
So, you have before you 2 warrants. The first one is dated, this one is dated on the 7th, but this is the one for the June bills that went out. So Christian had already approved this because it needed to be done, before the end of the year. But we had to take off the Mass Core business cards and the Tough Stuff Recycling. So they went on to the new warrant. So the new warrant for this week is Tough Stuff Recycling, which removed a ton of mattresses in the tune of $1,155. Mass Core bought you guys some business cards. That's $92.25. And the Neshoba Board of Health comes in at that, their first quarter for this year, their quarterly bill, which is $13,502.86. So that is the bills for this week. The bills for June that we had submitted, I don't have my June bill for my phone yet, and I don't have Unitil yet, so we'll have to encumber those. But I did get in my payment for my travel in June, which was $14.07. GW Shaw and Son, their June payment for $68,500, and Western and Sampson, the well repair, also went in for this last year. So if you wanted to see those, just wanted to make sure that you knew what was happening with the bills.
You wanna,
This is, that stuff for Stockholm, like, we're in the show. We pay them $13,500 a year or a month?
Quarterly.
Quarterly, okay.
because
actually-
most of the services are delegated, the ones that does, brick and all the services,
And then they have a small amount that has the nursing. So
Yeah.
I think it's like 9,000 for the RIC people, the sanitarians, and then the
Okay.
nursing part is like 4,800. You'll see the breakdown right there.
Yeah, see that. So you did, cards for each one of us individually this time, or?
what happened the last time?
With all three of our names across the top.
Well, they're really cheap at Mass Core, and I thought that they looked pretty cheap with all three names.
Okay,
And Jim was always the stickler with, he didn't want the business cards, and I really think that, given everything that's going on, that you should use your own business cards. I mean, they're $30 for 500 of them, so.
The Boston Water here.
We have signs with your
yes,
Sign both
Sign.
of them, I think.
Yeah, just
Sign.
initial.
top one.
thank you.
You wanna sign this one?
Sure.
And that is it. Our next meeting is the 22nd. We're gonna talk about the recycling center fees. Excuse me, because I'm hoping to have some type of a contract from Glenn regarding the recycling center and how we're gonna be paying him, because typically it's been thrown into the curbside program. We wanna make sure that those two things are separate. Typically, his recycling has always been free. But the last draft that I saw, he has now asked us to pay for it. So I don't know how we would charge the residents. We'd have to like charge them like a $5 fee if they came in with their recycling. And I am concerned about that because out of my several dozen phone calls today, there was a small amount of people who said, well, if I don't sign up for the program, and I get a private dumpster, can I bring my recycling to the recycling center? And my answer to them is, if you're paying for a dumpster, you should have a free recycling tote as part of the hauler regulations. You shouldn't have to bring it to the recycling center because you're paying. So just ask them to give you a dumpster for your recycling.
Yeah,
So, but there are,
I would say the $5 fee. If you, each time you come in with recycling. and try
we're trying to figure out whether it's $5 or $10 right now.
All right.
Yeah.
It depends, I guess, if they're coming in with a truck or a car, well, you can't charge that way, I know. We'll put a scale in at the
That's
recycling
it.
center. We'll
It's
start
just,
weighing
it's gonna be really hard, and if we can go on to like the bulky,
Yeah.
the small.
Well, what's
medium,
gonna
and large,
happen,
and
we allow Leominster and other towns to use our facilities.
And that's the problem.
We're not, we're gonna have to charge.
You're gonna have to charge.
But if you're part of the sticker program, you don't have to.
That's right.
It's free.
Couple quick questions before we shut down.
Yeah, Todd has a few.
Oh, yes,
What's the proper way to go about, if somebody has a complaint about trash in somebody's yard, what's the proper thing to do? How to get,
Trash in someone's yard? you contact our office, Rick will do a drive-by or I will do a drive-by, but now considering that I don't have any travel budget money, I will not be doing any more drive-bys.
So it could just be a phone call, doesn't have to be a letter or
Yeah.
anything like that.
It's just a phone call and then we will do a drive-by if it warrants any sanitary code violations. It's just like the Pine Street, the residential, a letter will go out. If they don't follow up with the letter, then a certified letter goes out and,
So what was the last address we were talking about? I didn't catch it.
86 South Row Road.
Yeah, that's right. South Willow Road.
South Row. Okay.
Is it South Willow or South Row?
South Row.
Row.
So, we have our joint meeting with the select board, when is the 15th, Monday or Tuesday?
It's Tuesday.
It's always, yeah.
Is, we have a joint meeting with the select board to continue on. Excuse me, pending on, pending the
Prevailing wage.
prevailing wage. And wage zero, I mean,
Right.
they have legal things that I'm not a legal expert and we're not a legal expert that we need to wait on, and if we don't have any responses, we just have to let the select board know, so, regarding that. Also, we, what else do we have for the agenda? We'll figure it out.
On the 22nd, you'll have a few things come up.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions?
I do. So back to the trash thing in the, let's say 86 South Road. When it comes down, we talk about fines and things. I know I asked Rick the last time or a couple times ago, he was here about a bylaw.
We do have authority with the regulations for solid waste and littering. But you have to take them to court.
Right. He said he would be the same as the states, would be redundant, so that are we gonna find him as a town, or does that go through the state, or?
So we as the town, we can pursue fines, but the thing is that, the first action that we want is for them to respond and have the area clean, and in this case, the letter came back returned, so, right, so how are we gonna find if we don't have anyone and.
We don't wanna spend more money on legal fees than we gotta get back, and I get
You were
that,
gonna
so.
check to see if the taxes are paid up, because at that point, we know who's paying the taxes. If he's 10 years behind on the taxes, the house might be abandoned. At that
I'm a little
point-
concerned that it might be just because and I haven't driven by it. Maybe I actually might drive by on the way home. It's kind of on my way. It did look almost like there was no one living there. So
Okay.
it's very possible that it maybe.
There's a lot of abandoned houses now. Blow my mind. Housing shortage and there's abandoned properties. So, there's one right next. to-
Even if you pass by and you take a picture, you can email it to the Board of Health with the address, and we're able to, also that's something that you're able to do. If you see it, you can take a picture, email it to the Board of Health's email and with the information, and we're able to check it out.
But Rick has to physically, because he is a registered sanitarian, he has to physically witness it.
Rick,
Yes.
Scenarios like somebody living in their backyard in a motorhome. That has to come to you in writing, right? The complaint, I was told in the past, had to be in writing.
If it becomes a vicarious situation, it's always good to have something in writing. The practice in the town hall is, if something is given to you in writing, you have an obligation to respond to it, whereas people who just call up and leave an anonymous complaint, you're not bound to follow up on it.
Okay, all right.
So it's always better if you want a response to put it in writing.
I've had a neighbor come to me with a complaint about another neighbor, and I told them they have to send it to you in writing. I can't take it on the side of the road as a complaint. So,
right, okay.
yeah. It's not officially a
You
complaint.
can talk to me all day long, but I can't.
Right, it has to go through it.
Okay. Nothing else? No?
I'm hungry.
Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting?
I speak a motion to adjourn the meeting.
To adjourn tonight's meeting.
Anyone second that?
Second that motion.
You second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Yeah, you're tonight's meeting at 7:19 PM.